Nana, why are they attacking Subway?
Hey, I was going to have you ask me that, but I didn't. Anyway, I don't know. It's really weird because Subway has a very annoyingly persistent but very consistent campaign where Jared lost a bunch of weight. So the whole thing is that Subway, you eat Subway and you won't get fat. But Quizno keeps attacking Subway for not having this prime rib sandwich, which because the Subway message is a lot stronger than the Quizno's message, you just assume that they don't have it because it's too fattening for Jared. You know what I mean? Like, no one would.
Right. The assumption is it's full of calories, right? If you're familiar with the Subway,
right?
Sure.
Well, I think the commercial is taking the quintessential American route of saying quantity is quality, because we don't really worry about true quality. We'll just pile it on, so they literally the text is going there, and it's kind of like in Desert Solitaire, the author Edward Abbey says that growth for growth's sake is the logic of the cancer cell. and that's kind of what we have here.
Yeah, I can just feel my arteries hardening looking at that ad. But I mean, I think it's psychologically it's quite clever. I mean, it resists those Subway ads are kind of moralizing, and what this taps into here is that greasy, carb and fat-laden food tastes good. And it feels good, and it's comforting, and it's satisfying. You notice how much they use satisfying in that ad? You're not policing yourself, you're indulging yourself, and this was all full of very explicit sexual overtones. So they were really playing against that and sort of giving people permission to indulge in that way. But the thing that really gets me about this ad is that it's clearly a product that is really bad for you. But Quizno's actually refused to publish nutritional information for this product. And one of the reasons that they are able to get away with this, I think, is that this is actually a government-sponsored product.
What?
This ad, did you notice the beef checkoff sign at the end of it? The little, like, beef checkoff? That comes from the exact name of the thing is the Cattlemen's Beef and Something Promotion Board, which is, in fact, a tax-funded board that was set up by an act of Congress.
Is it Texan?
It's funded by the beef lobby, essentially. It's funded by the beef lobby. And they are able to run these ads with clearly a great deal more money and a great deal more support than competing ads from things like the Vegetable and Fruit Association.
And they hate skinny people? No.
Well, I was really curious. I hadn't heard what you had just described, but they, in the very small writing at the bottom of the ad, talk about how it's only available for a limited time in some stores. So with that amount of money behind it, I'm actually surprised that it's going to be only around for this really short time, unless it's like, products at other stores where it keeps, rearing its ugly head, like the McRib at McDonald's, where people are waiting for it to suddenly show up.
It's because it's not so much a product as a campaign, like eat more meat. That's essentially why the Cattlemen's Board is called.
Yeah. Well, they would go after Subway because Subway actually is the largest fast food chain in the country. So it's kind of a strange paradox. We're the underdog, but we're the overweight underdog.
Right.
Well, what's interesting about this,
you're underdog.
They didn't really talk that much about the flavor. The one woman who talked about the flavor emphasized that it wasn't too garlicky. Yeah, I thought we have garlic, but you won't really taste it that much.
Like piles of meat and grease and bread and cheese taste. Like,
I actually had an interesting moment watching because when they got to the sexual entendre about the meat, I felt like the one woman knew that was in the script and she delivered it. The other woman I almost felt like didn't know it because she was smiling, and then I had to deliver the line, she stopped smiling. Like, I don't want to be part of this commercial.
Exactly. That's crazy. Because there's something unnatural about the delivery.
Yeah.
Especially the women, they all laugh at the end, and you don't know what are they all laughing at?
It was like laughter meat because at the beginning they laugh, the end of that use their meat. I'm really curious about the Subway Quizno's positioning though, because Madam Psychologist, who's not Freudian, is it easier to sell to the id or to the superego? I mean,
it should be easier to sell to the id. Exactly what they were doing. Yeah. Exactly.
So you can be the very poor superego, Mr.
That's
Subway.
right. That's right.
I thought this ad was just almost completely just in Jared. Hey, Jared, how about some prime rib? Just really an insult.
But it was very straightforward in its actual presentation, right? It's mimicking, a taste test, and so we learn that the people like the food. We learn where it's available. I mean, it was just there wasn't a whole lot of complexity to this ad.
But and then of course they resorted to sexuality, and it reminds me of when they say patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. If you have nothing else to say explain your advertising, then you
Go to
use
sex.
sex.
Yeah.
Okay, time for our exit question. They say the guy at the front
Prime
says something
rib
is the uber meat. Yeah. If prime rib is the uber meat, then blank is the uber blank. Margaret.
Dinah Washington is the uber diva.
No.
Kim.
The turkey leg is the uber portion of chicken.
Nada.
My boyfriend is the uber meat.
Oh. Dan.
Donald Trump's toupee is the Uber shag carpet.
Global warming is the uber crisis. Coming up, E-Trade.